Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Metropolia, a guy named Martin. Martin had a full head of hair in his younger years, thick and dark, and he often reminisced about those days. He used to walk down to old Joe's barber shop, where a haircut cost $5. Martin loved the simplicity of those days, the friendly banter with Joe, the smell of talcum powder, and the satisfying click of the scissors. As the years went by, Martin's hair began to thin and recede. The prospect of going bald loomed over him. He found himself spending more time in the front mirror, tilting his head and examining the retreating hairline. One day a friend suggested a hair transplant, and the idea took root in Martin's mind. But he was a practical man, and before making any decisions he decided to weigh his options. One evening, while sipping his favorite tea, Martin sat down to write a poem, a habit he had developed to sort his thoughts, and he called it The Cost of Vanity. When I was young and full of hair, a simple cut cost but a fare. $5 paid to old Joe's chair, for chatter and barber's care. My locks now thin, I bid adieu, and left my scalp in a view to rue. A transplant calls a costly queue to bring back youth that I once knew. Yet times have changed. The price has soared. For 40 more a cut's afford. Is it worth the vanity sword when 50 is now the barber's board? To chase the past a fleeting ghost and pay the price of youth engrossed, or save the funds a wise repose and cherish memories the most. As Martin penned the final lines, he felt a sense of clarity the poem had given him to voice his inner turmoil, and allowed him to see the situation for a broader perspective. He realized that the true cost of vanity wasn't just monetary, it was the emotional toll of chasing an idealized past. The next morning, Martin walked past the fancy salon advertising a $50 haircut. He smiled to himself, feeling a weight lifted from his shoulders. He decided to embrace his changing appearance and the wisdom that came with it. Instead of investing in a hair transplant, he chose to invest in experiences that would enrich his life. Martin frequented art galleries and poetry readings and took up gardening and even started a small poetry group that met weekly at a local cafe. His friends admired his confidence and authenticity, and he became an inspiration to many who struggled with their own insecurities. Years later, Martin's poem, The Cost of Vanity, was published in a local anthology. It resonated with many readers, reminding them to cherish their memories and embrace change. And as for Martin, he never regretted his decision. He lived a full life of creativity, joy, and genuine connections, far richer than any head of hair could ever make him.